Alright, another little video here. Tackling some inlays. This is my old 345 fretboard. This is Brazilian rosewood, which I think is pretty much impossible to get nowadays. There are some people who go and find rosewood, Brazilian rosewood from some source, and charge huge amounts of money to put that on a guitar, whether it's an acoustic or fretboards or whatever. But if you ask me, a lot of what I've seen looks like junk. I mean, what kind of stump wood they cut some of these from, I don't know. But you just look at a fretboard. If you've spent a few years selecting fretboards and you know what to look for as far as straight grain and quarter sawing and so on is concerned, they're no good wood. But sometimes I see Brazilian rosewood that is really just junk, and it would be better off using any other high quality rosewood. This looks remarkably like some Madagascar rosewood that I'm using on another LP style build. I mean, to be honest, I have never seen such similarity. This really, if these were cut identically, I really wouldn't be able to tell one from the other. But I ordered another piece of Madagascar rosewood, and it looks quite different. It just doesn't look like anything I've used. The reason I'm not using this board is because they sent this to me where the quartering is a bit off. It's a bit off. It's really at 45 degrees or even less. And this look is not the look I wanted on this particular LP I'm building, which is a lefty. It's hanging up over there. You'll see some more of that later on. Anyway. So anyway, I put the binding on this. This had to get new binding for the old 62 ES345 restoration. The inlays are original and present, except for one. The problem is they don't look good anymore. They're all celluloid plastic, and they seem to have actually gone clear. They almost look like a fingernail color now, and you could practically see through them. But because they're original, because they're there, I've left them. Only the ones down at the end here look like they did originally. So I've added a new binding. The next thing I'm going to do is scrape these down and add the tortoise dots. I'm not sure if this model had the tortoise dots. I'm going to have to check it out, but I quite like using them. So this is drying here, and I'm going to actually inlay this fretboard, and then put the pearl inlays in, and then cut the taper on it and put the binding on, so that these arrive at the same status, right? And then I could put the dots on at the same time. So this needs to catch up to this. So what I'm just doing now is mixing a little epoxy. I'm not sure what everybody else uses for this step, but some people have talked about just putting a little bit of an acetone in there, acetone glue, but I don't really think that's very strong. I really don't like inlays popping up on their edges as time goes by. Of course, these plastic fake pearl inlays are more likely to warp and curl up and come undone. The real mother pearl should sit down permanently forever. So these are celluloid plastic, the original style, fake pearl. And for this style of guitar, you don't want a pearl that's too busy. You don't want one that's too much going on. Just looking for a piece of sheet here. Well, I can't find it now, but I was just looking for a little piece of sheet of pearl that I consider too busy. So I picked these pieces out to be just about right, and have the right orientation of pattern and so on. So I'm just mixing a little epoxy for a few inlays at a time, just wetting the bottom of the cavity. I guess some people might use super glue for these as well. There's different ways to I'm going to shortcut this job. But I want the bottom of the inlay to glue to the wood properly. I don't want it to be sitting there with a little air gap and having just the edges glued. So I'll put an epoxy all the way in there. And of course I do consider epoxy the most stable and long-lasting option about glue here. As I say, whatever was used originally I'm not so interested in, because I've seen these things just pop out. So we certainly have more modern methods and more modern glues and materials. And we're often able to do things better than original. Dare I say it? Better than original. I built a guitar like this, a few guitars I guess before. I'm left-handed, and I built one lefty for myself, and I loved it so much I just had to have another one. So that's what this is. So I originally built the first one I built was Honduran rosewood fretboard, and it was kind of a light color, very light. I have one here. Finding anything on here. This is a Honduran rosewood, which is awesome, rings like a bell. I mean, you put this right up to your ear, I doubt you could, camera would pick that up, but I'm just doing it anyway. It just rings like a piece of a xylophone, and sounds great, but I just wanted to do the second one with a darker look on the fretboard. So I chose the Madagascar one. It's pretty dark. It's almost ebony-ish. And as time goes by, and the oils from your finger and cleaning it and so on gets in it, you know, polishes and oil, various fretboard oils, it's going to get even darker, pretty much a black look by the time it's done. Right, so I'm just gonna pop these inlays in, and you should squeeze out the epoxy. These are all labeled beforehand, and let's get a squeeze out. And if I get any gaps, I could just put some more epoxy on top of that later. The problem with epoxy is that it's pretty thick, and it kind of causes the pearl to sort of float above the bottom of the grouting. So you wanna give it a real good press here. Okay. Of course, it is the way this was routed. The holes are actually curved along the fretboard. So even though I'm pressing that in there, the fact is that I actually don't really need to press it, because I'm going to put a caul on top that matches the curve, and I'll clamp and all that. So I'm really just doing that to distribute the glue. I'm not really trying to hold it in its final position. Right, so these, as I say, the epoxy is really just on the bottom. And as I pop each of these in, I could see that it's not, the epoxy isn't really filling the walls of the routing. And when that dried, you would see a little air gap down the side of the pearl inlay, plastic inlay really. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to fill those with another mix with some rosewood dust in it, which would be more